way. And then Bill, of course, this weekend doing a big show on the East Side. Where's that show on the East Side?
Oh, it's on the east side of 9th Street. Here in downtown Cleveland. And it's at the Alex Theater at the 9. And if you've never been to this theater, it's a great little black box theater. I've done shows there in the past. And
why has it got to be black?
Because, East Side.
Oh, my God. East Side of Cleveland,
Yeah.
9th and what? Oh, it's right here.
It's right here between.
Oh, yeah.
It's between Euclid and Prospect.
Gotcha.
And it's a great little place. So, and they have great restaurants and bars. You can make a whole night out of it and not even have to leave the building.
What floor is the Alex Theater on?
I think it's on the 3rd floor,
Okay.
3rd or 4th floor. And then they have a restaurant. What's their restaurant called now? Because
it was a Dega.
It was a
now it's
Dega,
something
something else now.
And now they have a new nightclub that
yeah.
that Azur's gone, and they made it. I think it's like something the Eve or the Garden. I think it's called the Garden.
Yeah, I think it's the Garden. I see girls taking their selfies in front of the wall there all the time.
The Centro is the new
Centro
restaurant, I believe. Yeah.
But it's
the
a
Dega was not
great
that
place.
great.
So one year I was there and I did a show, and then afterwards Brian Regan came over and we sat at one of the bars there and just chopped it up for a while and had some chats, and that
nice.
was a really cool night.
Sure.
I've gotten to hang out with him a few times. But if you want those tickets, alextheatercleveland.com. There's about 20-something left, so let's sell it out. Come out, hear some great jokes, have some laughs. There's great openers. It's going to be a good time.
And there aren't many tickets remaining,
Right.
is my understanding.
Yeah, about 20.
Okay. Well, there you go. Hey, congratulations to our bureau chiefs in the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They are greasing their polls in anticipation for the game this weekend. There are plenty of Philadelphia traditions. You got your cheesesteaks. You got your, Liberty Bell. And you got the pole greasing. They don't want Philly fans climbing these poles. But you know what? They always find a way to do it.
They're going to do it.
They always manage, because you know what I think? I think they're premature on the pole greasing. I think they do it too soon. I think you got to do it day of. I know it's going to be busy down there. And they have Philly PD doing this. Imagine you're like a cop that's got to go out and grease poles. NFC Championship game is Sunday. It's Philly and 49ers?
Yeah.
Philly and the 49ers. Bengals Chiefs is the other game. And so they're greasing all the poles, the light fixtures. Last time the poles were greased was in October when the Phillies got into the World Series. And you might remember some of the video of that. People were going bananas.
They still get up there.
I
don't even know why they bother, because they seem to just get up there no matter what.
Well, not only that, nobody really cares, because you might have remembered, if you paid real close attention to it, people in Philly know this. Out of all the people that were climbing the poles at that time, they arrested one guy, but they dropped the charges because they said they didn't have enough evidence.
Mm-hmm.
We have video of you on the pole. That's all the evidence you need. That we're greasing these so that to try to keep you from doing that, to prohibit you climbing the pole. Your Honor, lack of evidence, I move to dismiss. We've got video of you on the pole, so they don't really care. But in Philly, they do wish happy greased pole season to people around there. Kind of a Philly Festivus, if you will. They are obviously don't want people climbing up there. And again, the reason they don't want people climbing up there is they don't want damage to the utility poles, not people. They don't care if people get hurt. They're like, if you climb up there and you fall, dummy, it's not on us. They don't want people wrecking city infrastructure. They simply can't afford to have any more infrastructure there in Philly ruined. So whether or not you're an Eagles fan, may all your poles be greased this weekend there in Philadelphia. Dude comes out. You know who C.J. Gardner-Johnson is? He's a defensive back for the Eagles. When they beat the Giants, after the game, he walks out to the lot at the field to find that his car had been stolen.
Oh, that's such a bummer. At least you won the game, because that would have been worse.
Won the game. Don't know why this cat's driving a Kia. Sounds like it was a friend's car or a loaner or something.
Man, some of these guys don't do the big flashy cars. They're just,
You don't have to do a big flashy car, but you're a professional football player. I mean,
hey, some guys don't want to waste the money.
Well, he probably did it thinking that a big flashy car would be a bigger target. He hasn't read any news about Kias. So he's like, oh, I'll be fine.
Who took my car? Wow. That's how y'all getting down in Philly after a win?
After a win, you can steal my car.
They're probably they had no idea that it was his. They're like, oh, man.
But it's in the player lot, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Lincoln Financial's got like a player.
But they don't have just the players' cars in there because there's other staff that work there. But a Kia is a Kia, and that's what you can steal.
Lot, right?
They robbed Rosa Parks, so why is he immune? So,
what?
Years
you
later,
heard him.
They robbed Rosa Parks.
Two dudes on the sidewalk didn't know who she was and held her up.
I thought they broke into her house.
I think they held her up in front of her house on the sidewalk.
But I'm just saying, there's no loyalty. She was a big person in the civil rights movement. This guy won a game, so there's no loyalty. If they robbed Rosa Parks,
but the two dudes didn't know who Rosa Parks was. She was like 90, and they were teenagers.
Well, they should know.
Well, that's beside the point. All I'm saying is, if you're a Progressive Field or anywhere else, you could look down onto the employee lot.
Yeah.
There's Hummers and Benzes and all this. You're like, oh, there's all the, Lambos.
It was the best
one. You want to keep literally a
talking about
low profile.
Edwin Encarnacion's tank that he drove.
Out in Goodyear.
And you could look down there and see that thing, and it looked like it was twice the size of everything else. It was massive.
Massive. So I don't know if they found a
but you're parking next to that in a Kia.
Yeah. Thinking that you're the smart one. Because you're like, no, but they're going to go right for the nice. So I don't know if they got his car back, but this dude led the league in interceptions, but he couldn't stop them from stealing his car.
His car got intercepted.
Yes, it did. No brotherly love there. Let me know if you listen to us on the iHeartRadio app. If you do it from Philadelphia, a lot of bureau chiefs there, or elsewhere. Kyle is in Naples, Florida. Andy listens in Monroe, North Carolina. Patty's out in Auburn, Washington. Brian's in Hackensack, New Jersey. And Aaron's in Chicago.
Hey, listen, Alan. The only reason you don't understand it, or the only reason you don't get it is because you're not a guy who's into vintage things. Because you're a freaking stick in the mud that doesn't enjoy anything. You don't want to let people sing in your car. You don't want to... And you don't care about vintage cars or vintage anything.
I'm going to cut him off. Yeah, that's what I said. You're just repeating to me what I said. Boy, people get so butthurt when you're not down with their hobbies. Yeah, I said, Jay Leno on a 1922 motorcycle. Like, okay, cool. I get it. He's a gearhead and all that. But so what?
I mean,
people
even if
get
he was
so
on a new
mad
bike,
if you're not into their hobbies.
Right, but he would have still got hurt the same way if he was on a
that's
brand
right.
new motorcycle.
That is right. He got clotheslined by a thing. So it had nothing to do with that. I'm just saying a picture of like a guy on this old rickety motorcycle. He's got a helmet on because, safety first. You want to be safe. What, are you going to ride around in a penny farthing? That's vintage too. I remember when I lived in Ohio City, I was surrounded by hipsters. There was some a-hole on a penny farthing. I'm like, bro, I so wanted to put a branch through his front wheels. It's like you need a ladder to get on that thing.
They have their ways.
Right.
Hey, if it makes someone happy.
And by the way, this notion that I don't like anything is so silly. It's so silly. Because I don't like what you like. Everybody gets a stick up their ass, and then I'm the bad guy. Oh, you don't like this? Yeah, because it's stupid. If you like something stupid, I'll tell you. That's just my opinion. You don't have to take it personally. I think people who like work on cars and fix that was my dad. We never ever had a lot of cars over the course of my life because my dad would fix all of them. He was always doing so. We never ever. My dad would roll over in his grave if he knew, and he knew when I was alive that I would take my car to places. He's like, should have learned. I go, yeah, I know I should have, but I don't have that gene. Both my younger brothers have that gene. They got that gene from my dad. I did not. I spent a lot of years and a lot of hours with my head under a hood or under the car trying to glean information from my dad. He was an engineer, and he just had the brain for that stuff. I did not, as much as I wanted to. So guys like Leno, I'm fascinated by that. Or you guys who work on, automobiles. Not Poundcake's roommate, he's a cashier. But you guys who, or women too, who are really good with that stuff, I'm fascinated by it. But it ain't me. Doesn't mean I don't like anything. I like plenty of things.
Just not vintage things.
Yeah, I mean,
You like new stuff, not old stuff.
Yeah, what's the matter with new stuff? It was like, the things were built better. Yeah, cars were 8,000 pounds. I mean,
Yeah, they're neat, though.
Well, no, listen. What's the matter with new? Everybody's got a boner for old. Because it all feeds into that whole, things aren't as good as they used to be. A lot of things are 1,000,000 times better than they used to be. A lot of things are way better. If somebody came to you and said, hey, we're all going back to rotary phones.
Well, when it comes
You'd go, no. There would be, you want civil war. Be war over that. Oh, but let's take the technology back. Everyone's phone now is going to be stuck to the wall again. With a 3-foot cord, if you can talk to somebody in the other room.
The big long cord.
Well, yeah, I mean,
balls up.
Yeah.
But if you're a guy like Jay Leno, and you have the money and the time, and the fun of it is restoring the old stuff because you don't need to he could have any car he wants. He's got all the money you'd ever need.
Yeah.
So when you can find something, take it from junk to working again, like the car that set his face on fire, it gives us a sense of accomplishment that he's not getting from anything else, because that's the only challenge he has left in his life, because he's made so much money and achieved so much in his professional life. So it's like, yeah, this makes me happy, and then he's preserving something as well. So I get the whole vintage thing for sure, but it's one of those things where I'm not interested in it, but I get why people do it. But and also modern cars are so complicated now, and
you got to have a degree in computer science to fix.
You can't really fix the cars the same way. And like Jay Leno doesn't want it. What's he gonna do? Restore people that drunk drive and crash? He gets that car from the dude that played for the Raiders in Vegas and restores that Lamborghini or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the same.
He bought a Morgan 3-wheeler off of Homer Simpson.
There you go.
And then tried to get his money back. Yeah, so, I don't know what to tell you. I think everybody should do whatever they want to do.
Maybe you need to, but what do you want to do? I think that's what it comes down to. What's the hobby you're trying to get into? People were giving me guff yesterday because I was crapping on bird.
Oh God, the birders got
the birders, and they're like,
no.
"Oh, you're making fun of birders, but you want to start collecting model trains?" I'm like, "Yeah, because model trains are cool, and watching birds is dumb, because that's how I feel about it. Just like someone that watches birds probably thinks model trains are dumb.
Yeah,
all the hobbies are dumb. The whole point of a hobby is that it's a stupid waste of time.
You're killing time
that you're enjoying, so it is no longer a waste of time because it brings you peace.
All of life is killing time. Some of that time you're paid for, some of that time you're not, but our entire lives are killing time. That's all it is. Filling up the days with stuff.
Yep.
I was just never a hobby guy. But plenty of people have them. That's completely fine. But people don't like it when you give them a hard time about their hobbies. Speaking of The Simpsons, renewed for 2 more seasons at Fox.
Jeez, man. What are they going up to, 35?
Yeah, they put
34.
Fox has ordered 2 more seasons of The Simpsons, Bob's Burgers, awesome, and Family Guy. That will be seasons 14 and 15 for Bob's Burgers, the 22nd and 23rd seasons of Family Guy, and the 35th and 36th seasons of The Simpsons.
Goodness.
It is the longest-running scripted series in television history. They are also bringing back, after an 8-year absence, Adult Swim is bringing back Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I didn't like that one that much.
I never got into that either. The Simpsons, however, dominates Disney+. They just released a thing not long ago, and they're like, all this content they're putting on Disney Plus. They want people to watch the Star Wars shows and the Marvel shows. They say most people use it for The Simpsons. That's most of what we do. We have Disney Plus on us to watch Simpsons.
And when I first started,
far and away, most people who subscribe to Disney Plus are watching The Simpsons way more than anything else.
I got to trim down some of my subscriptions because, like, I can't even remember the last time I turned on Disney Plus. Maybe over Christmas, but, like, I don't really watch Disney Plus. I haven't, like, I want to start, like, cycling through them and watch the shows that I want to watch and then cancel it and, you know, move on to the next one.
Well, not only that,
I'm paying for, like, 4 or 5 different subscriptions and I'm not even using them.
I actually went through mine. I was worried about double paying because you have all these mergers.
Mm-hmm.
So then they go, well, get this bundle over here and you'll get this, but you forget you're already subscribed to it.
Yeah.
And so then you're like, well, I'm already paying for this. So, and they have also, going back to Philadelphia, they have also started filming season 16 of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Who thought that show would be around that long? Again, I feel like I love Sunny, but I feel like that's another one of those zombie shows that is still on. You know, people refer to The Simpsons as a zombie show. It's on, but who the hell do you know that watches it?
But it's still getting watched.
It must be.
I mean, who the hell went and saw Avatar 2 and it's going to make $2 billion? You know, there's so much. Same thing. Like, who watches Blue Bloods every week?
Well, that's not on anymore, is it?
I don't know, but it was on for like 8 years or something.
Well, that's old people. I mean, that show.
But there's so many shows like that where I'm
Right.
like, who are the people watching this stuff?
Right.
And then there's a fandom for it. Maybe they're not vocal, but they're out there.
Yeah.
I was so mad. I bought like the DVD set of True Blood because I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be like my new favorite show. And I watched like maybe 5 episodes in, and it just did not hit for me. So I just gave it to my cousin. And I was like,
Oh, God, I thought you were going to say it ended up being Blue Bloods with Tom Selleck
no.
and Donnie Wahlberg.
No, it was True
Where's
Blood.
all the vampires? This is just cops.
I was so mad.
Never watched that either. I'm not, vampires.
I watched that show with my ex-wife, and we, like, I moved out like with one episode left. And I moved out, and I like never even went back to watch it because like I don't care.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, back then when it was male full frontal nudity, it was a big deal. So I heard that there was like nudity in it. And that was just when I had around when I had my first job, and I was like, oh, I could buy things for myself. I was going to get it on Netflix, but it was still too new.
That's what Alexander Skarsgård kind of got famous from, right?
Yeah.
Was True Blood? Yeah.
So yeah, when I would see shows that had full frontal, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't care if it's flaccid. I'm about to watch. And
Yeah, I
that's why
can't
bought
remember
it.
the last show I watched just because
Of
there was
nudity.
nudity. Because
Especially male full frontal.
Right. But even like,
Honey, we've got to watch this. There's so much flaccidity in it.
yeah.
Let me
If
see.
that's a word.
Let me see when it came out.
It
Like
came out in like 2007.
2008, first
2008,
episode.
okay.
That sounds about right. Yeah, that was like around when I started driving.
I saw the Avatar commercial the other night. I said to Gwen, I go, I think I'm going to go see Avatar. Just because it's probably looks great.
Yeah,
Didn't
that's what
care-
everybody says.
That's what I mean. Like, I didn't care for the first one. Don't really care about this. But I'm like, I feel like I should see it. I don't know why. Because it's probably, it probably looks awesome. But yeah, you're right.
Take
I
an
was like,
edible,
who
go
the hell?
enjoy it.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right.
I'm going to take a break here. I will have another $1,000 for you to win coming up at 3:30. So listen for those keywords because about 30 past every hour, you get a crack at $1,000. And I'll have the last pair of tickets for you right after the break here to see Joe Bonamassa. If you like your blues rock mixed up, he's coming through to do Playhouse Square in a couple of weeks. So we'll do those coming back.
It's the Alan Cox Show.
On our free iHeartRadio app and